All right, guys, we're live. It's Elisha, Ambassador Diamond with It Works Global, and I'm so excited for tonight. We have some very special guests on with us, Lori and Quintin. Guys, I'm so excited to have you guys on. I look up to you guys so much and just appreciate you guys taking the time out to do this. So go ahead and introduce yourselves and then just tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us on, Elisha. I really appreciate it. I've always been on this journey along with you, and I've looked up to you as well. So appreciate all of you done. 2011, July of 2011, and I was introduced to this product through a friend of mine at my MOPS group, which is a Mothers of Preschooler group. If you would have looked at me at that time, you would have never thought of me as a prospect because I had 4 kiddos all under the age of 6. So I was busy. I had my hands really full. And quite honestly, I was kind of ignorance on fire. I know you probably heard that terminology before, ignorance on fire and knowledge on, knowledge on ice. But for me, I really didn't even know what I was doing, but I just had passion behind this product that I had hopes that would work. My friend introduced it to me. I put it on, and before I even taken it off, I signed up to be a distributor. And all I knew is that I needed to get 4 customers to get some free product at that time. And so that was my goal. And it really didn't go further than that, other than I just wanted to make a couple $100s a month to get some nail money so I could go and get my nails done. How crazy is that? I don't know if any of y'all can relate to that or not, but that was my goal at the very beginning. And when I joined this business, Quintin wasn't real excited about me joining it because we were super, super busy. He worked a full-time job, obviously. He was a banker. It was his career in banking. He made 6 figures a year. So we did good as a family. We lived very fine life. So we didn't necessarily need this business, so to speak. But as we got into the business and I got into the business, I saw the vision that was there for our family. I knew we needed this business a lot more than I originally thought. So I ran and got that $200 goal that I had set myself within 10 days. So very, very quickly. And I just told Quintin from the very beginning, I just told him, I said, hey, babe, I'm going to make some extra cash. And he saw me do that. And I would say, hey, I'm going to make your truck payment. He's a very frugal person. He does not like to spend money, but this girl likes to spend money. And so I could make money if I could make money, I could spend it. And so I would tell him each and every month that would come by, I'm going to raise our check. And to my business, whether I knew how to do it or not, it was literally ignorance on fire. I would put enough wraps on to be able to make that cash in my pocket to give myself that raise. And about 6 months into this business, Quintin joined me. At that time, I had just gone, Double Diamond? He had joined the business with me. And really, I casted that vision for him for a long time before he actually joined in and said, okay, let's do this together. And that was February of 2012 that he joined this business with me. And from that point on, we just kind of blew this up together. And I'll let you talk for a little bit on that.
Well, then by August of 2012, I had left the bank. So we were, I always hate that intro. I always hate that. But that was me, man. Like, I was that guy. Like, I wasn't Negative Nelly, but we were busy. We got 4 kiddos. I was working hard. I mean, you ladies got men that work hard for you. I worked a lot of hours, and quite honestly, I freaking hated it, and I didn't know that I hated it. And I was kind of a cranky dude because of it, honestly. And so when she found this business, we weren't looking for it, and I was unimpressed, to say the least. But I wasn't. I didn't try to sabotage her or hold her back. I just was uninvolved. I was uninterested. We were busy. I married my best friend from high school, man, and I felt like really what had happened to our lives is we were both doing what we thought we should be doing. I was, by most standards, I was doing pretty good. I was the vice president of a little bank, and she was a stay-at-home mama of 4 awesome kiddos, and that's what she wanted to be doing. But we were like, we were best friends that never saw each other. We were like 2 ships passing in the night. And so It Works came to our life kind of on accident. And she just, like she said, she kept working, man. Like she was, that was in 2011. By 2012, she came back from conference in 2012 and literally would not stop speaking on that plane ride home. And we sat there and wrote hundreds of names down on a piece of paper. I remember that. And I'm like, man, she was so excited, and her excitement was really what caught me on fire, opened my eyes. Of course, money opens guys' eyes. I mean, that's legit too. But once I started working with her by August of that year, 2012, she had retired me from the bank. So Lori's been a top 10 earner since 2012, guys. So joined in 11. You know, it's one thing to make it to the top 10, but she's been there since 2012. I think that's quite a feat. So she's done a whole lot of something right. And I'm just blessed to be a part of that. You know, I would have never, this is something, I say this all the time, I've never been so happy to be so wrong so many times. Like everything I thought about this business was wrong. You know, I always thought network marketing was for those people who just didn't know better. And so, again, you know, I didn't think the rap worked. I didn't think the business worked. I didn't think any of this crap worked.
Right.
And here I am, living in a mansion with a hot smoking wife and awesome kiddos. So we're doing good, man. And listen, here's the thing. Like, we weren't looking for this. You know, this just kind of happened onto us. So, you know, that's our story. I don't really like to spend a lot of time on our story because I know, like, our goal, Lori and I, business. And so what we really want to do is bring information to you all. I mean, our stories are great, but it's just a story. And so what we want to do is be here to help answer questions and give tips for y'all. So I don't know what you had in store, Elisha, but we're ready, man. Bring it.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing that you just mentioned just in your story right there was just the vision. You caught the vision and you shared the vision with Quintin. Like, how do you share that with your new distributors, and how do you get the ball rolling to get them to Ruby and to get them to Diamond and beyond?
Okay, that's a great question. I think it all stems from passion. How excited are you? If you're excited, people are going to be automatically attracted to you. They will be. You're going to have something that nobody else has. And they're going to want to, they want a piece of that. They want, you know, a piece of that action, a piece of that freedom, a piece of that excitement. For me, with our story, I know for me, I caught that vision a long time prior to Quintin catching that. And that's why I had to cast that vision for a long time. And I had to really paint that portrait of what, even though I was doubting during that time too, let me just say that I wasn't like solid, like, I'm going to be a rock star, I'm going to be an ambassador diamond, I'm going to be a top earner, I'm going to be a millionaire. No, I had all these doubts in my mind whether I thought I could do it or not. Every day I had those doubts, but I got up and I got them out of my head. And how I got them out of my head is I went to work. I got action under my feet, you know. I laced up my shoes as tight as possible and I ran as fast as I could. And sometimes I failed miserably, but I just picked myself back up and I kept doing it over again. So the best way that you can cast vision for people is, let me say this, is action. You have to be active. You have to be working your business. You can't just say that you're working it. You actually have to be rapping people. You actually have to be doing parties. You actually have to be present on social media if you're growing your business that way. This business is not a business that you can sit back and say to people what they should do. You have to continue to keep working your business. So how I cast that vision for my new distributors and my new Rubies and my new just team, you know, I try to relate to them the best way that I can. I know a girl of mine, she's on the Zoom, Amanda, I'm going to call you out here. We were talking just the other day about how, you know, the first conversation that we had, she's like, I didn't know what you did, but I was sold the minute I started talking to you. And I said, do you want to know why you were sold the minute that you started talking to me? It's because I was excited about what I was doing. I was excited about what I had my hands on. And you probably didn't care whether I was selling wraps or pencils. Like, I was just excited, and I had that freedom in my life that you so desperately wanted. And I spoke belief into you to tell you that you could do the very same thing. And that was something that attracted you to me. And that passion just exuded through me, therefore casted the vision for her. Do you want to say anything about that?
Well, I agree with those two things. I think if you take anything from this call, I want it to be two things. One, excitement sells every single time. I don't care. You can sit here and talk about strategy and the magic words and what's your best tip and, well, how did you guys make it? I can tell you 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt, it was excitement. And just to prove my point, I always say this, you stole my pencil line, but, you know, I don't really care what it is that you have, like what it is that you have your hands on. Like, if you are so excited about something that it just bursts out of you, people don't understand, like, the best and worst thing about Zooms is you get to watch people be excited or dead. I can see all of you half asleep. I can see some of you dialed in. And I can tell you this, excitement is what sells.
Yes.
Your body language speaks more than your mouth will ever say, right? And so if I get excited about this pink marker, right? This pink marker right here, y'all don't even know. This Sharpie marker right here is the best pink marker I've ever had. It smells good. It feels good. It writes good. Like, this is the best pink marker I've ever seen. Like, this pink marker is so good you can't even get your hands on this pink marker. All of a sudden, you start wanting this pink marker because I'm excited about a pink marker. And it's a marker. So now apply that to whatever you want to apply it to. In this situation, screens, it's vitals, it's whatever it is that gets you amped up. You get excited. So my wife was successful because she was excited. She found something. She didn't see this great vision of hope for being Ambassador Diamond. No, she was excited. Like, I put this wrap on me. I had 4 kids. You're kidding me? This wrap did that to my skin?
Yes.
Holy crap. Who won't want that?
Right.
And she was excited.
Yes.
And that's what people have lost. The other thing that has made her successful, and here, look, this is going to suck. So if you're sensitive, you might as well tune out right now, right? The second thing that makes my wife successful in this business is because she's not sitting here on her phone texting while someone who's a multi-millionaire is giving you tips. She's dialed in, she's disciplined, she gets out there and she works her ass off. So what happens is you get people who work this like a hobby, you're gonna make hobby money.
Right.
You get out there and you do this a day, 1 day a week, you do this a couple hours a day, you're like, man, I don't know why I'm not Ambassador Diamond. I can tell you why, because you didn't work your ass off. If you knew what it took to be at the top level of this company, it'd blow your mind. You have to be disciplined to the process of success. And people, mostly, aren't disciplined. They dabble. We dabble in things. We dabble. We think that success will come if we just try. That isn't true at all. You must be
Disciplined.
You must be excited, and you must be exponentially disciplined and dedicated to the cause of success. It does not just happen.
You know, I always say if you could look in the side of our lives, you would really see like our journey. We've been here for 5.5 years, and all you see from Facebook is a highlight reel. If you follow us on Facebook, you see a lot of happy stuff. But life is tough. You know, I could just sing a sad song to you right now of all the things that have happened in my life in the last 5.5 years. But what's that going to do for me? And what's that going to do for you? It's not going to do anything. So what you have to do is you have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps sometimes, put your big girl panties on, and get to work. Because the only way that you're going to be able to change your life is to change your perspective. To change your life is to be the change that you're looking to create in your life. And so if you want movement in your team, you have to be that movement. If you want massive action in your business, you have to be that massive action in order to create it.
Yeah, and I want to say this. If you want to cast a vision for your people right out of the gate, the best way you do that is with simplicity.
Yes.
It's simplicity. So here's what's different now than what happened 5.5 years ago or 6 years ago when we started, Elisha, is this. When we started, like, we were mowing our own path, right? There wasn't all this stuff out there. There wasn't, the steps to success didn't even exist, right?
I mean, check out our product labels and our, even if anything back Thursday, right? Look at how our products look. We had to sell those. They were great on the inside, but we really had the packaging was ugly. So
this isn't a walk uphill both ways to work story. What this is I think people are inundated. All of our new people are overloaded with so much information, with so much opportunity. There's so much to absorb. Like, you come in, you open the door, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do. Right? That wasn't the way. 5 years ago, it wasn't like that. Because when people came in this business, we focused on 2 things. You get paid to do 2 things, folks. 2 things. That's it. You don't get paid to do trainings. You don't get paid to make frilly little things. You don't get paid to make T-shirts. You don't get paid to do all this stuff. You get paid to do 2 things. That is bring in customers, get wraps on people, and build your business with new distributors. That's it. 2 things: customers and distributors. That's all you get paid to do. And so we keep it very simple from the very beginning. We don't puke all over these new people and say, here's all this world of opportunity and all of this stuff you need to start doing. We say one thing and one thing only from the very beginning. What is that?
Steps to success. Go get your 4 customers immediately.
That's it.
72 hours. Go get your first 4 customers in 72 hours. Don't even wait till you get your kit. Just go get them for your 4 in 72 hours. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to people that you love and know the very most. And you're going to say to them, I just started this incredible business and I would love for you to be a product tester. And in return, I'm going to give you my pricing for my products. I'm not even charging full price. I'm going to give you my pricing. It's for a 90-day program. Can I count on you for your support? That's a question that you have to ask them. Can I count on you for your support? Most of them are going to say yes. And guess what? You just help set them up for success in so many ways. You set them up for success to get those bonuses in the future for those 4 customers gotten in that short amount of time, right? Because they have to give them 30 days. Why not run and get them in 4? Don't wait till 30 days, because what happens if you tell them that they have 30 days to get their customers?
They're going to wait.
They're going to wait 30 days until that 30th day till midnight getting them in, right? If they're lucky. So tell them 72 hours. Go get your 4 in 72 hours, and this is how you're going to do it. And you're going to turn around and you're going to say, can I count on you for your support? Because that is what the key phrase is. A lot of times they're going to come back and they're going to say, absolutely, what do I need to do? So asking for help is not necessarily a bad thing when you first get started in your business. It's not a terrible thing at all. And that's what we need to be doing, is making sure that our new distributors are asking people to be product testers for them, asking people to join them. And that doesn't mean that they're going to grow their business that way long term. But that does mean that you have to get started. You have to get started. And once you get started, that momentum, it continues. It's really hard to get started if you don't have that momentum from the very beginning. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people fall on their face because they didn't do anything the first month. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't redeem themselves and do something later. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, it's so much easier because that excitement's there. Don't try to wait until you know everything there is to know about this business before you start, right?
And don't try to teach everything that you already know about this. So that's what I don't want this point to be missed. We don't focus on spending hours watching videos. We don't focus on getting to an OTM. We don't focus on hopping on this Zoom immediately. We don't focus on, hey, you've got to get on this call, this coaching call. We don't do any of that.
We have
crap.
4 customers. You're going to focus on your first 4 customers. That's it.
When you sign up with Quintin and Lori, all right, so now what? Well, now what? You go get 4 customers.
I want you to talk to your mom. I want you to talk to your sister. I want you to talk to your neighbor and your coworker.
That's it.
Those 4, do it right now, and let's get them on board with trying our routes for 90 days.
In the blanks on the right.
And then after that, we're going to say, woohoo! Now you're eligible for these bonuses. We're going to help you get $500 that you don't even know about. But I'm going to show you how to get that cash into your pocket.
Start talking about how to build a business.
Yes.
We don't even talk about how to build a business in the very beginning. We talk about 4 customers. That's it.
I love that. Gosh, I love your guys' excitement. It just gets me on
Can you move
fire.
your foot? It's in my shot. Everybody's seeing it.
Oh, hold on. Let me find where that's coming from.
I can move my phone if everybody's seeing it.
Guys, make sure that you're muted.
You
Okay.
can just mute everybody again and we'll unmute ourselves.
If you want to mute everybody, I'll unmute.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, we're back.
Okay. So back to the excitement, back to the passion. I want to talk a little bit about that because, you know, we're getting to the end of the year. We're getting ready to roll into 2017. And for me, like 2017, like just thinking about it, like I have goosebumps and just so excited about like what's to come. And a question that was asked was how do you feel like the importance of finishing off 2016 directly relates to the start of 2017 and how it's going to be for your business?
I'm just going to say this. Once you go to conference in February, if you're not signed up to do that, make sure you are signed up to get there. Mark is going to roll out these incredible promotions, and you wish you would have been working. I'm just going to say that because he's going to set you up for huge, huge success. A great friend of mine here in Kansas City double promoted after one of these double promotions and made $200,000 in bonus money, y'all. $10,000 a month on her check because she set herself up for success. And the only way that you can set yourself up for success is to keep working, to keep running when you feel like you're not getting anywhere, but you just keep moving. You know, like Dory says, just keep swimming because you just don't know what's around the corner. You just don't know. And so if you try to figure it all out, you're going to paralyze yourself. So you just got to keep moving and you got to trust the process. If you wake up every day and you treat this like a business, not a hobby, if you treat it like a business and you really want business money, you're treating this like a business and you're doing income producing activities each and every day. Every day you have a plan in the morning to get that completed. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a business. You're going to have a business mindset. You're working this like a business. You're going to get business pay. Your paycheck's going to come in the first month. It may not show that, but Eventually, network marketing, it grows exponentially each and every month. My first paycheck in this business, y'all, was $47. That could have very easily frustrated me because I worked really, really hard that first month, right? But I had over $400 in wrap cash. I think it was $480 in wrap cash. That lit me on fire, right? So the $47 to me when I got it, I was like, wow, icing on the cake, right? That was like freebie money. And so for me, that check went from $47 to $460 the next month. Do you see that? I don't even know what percentage that is. My banker.
A bazillion.
A bazillion. But that's what happened, you guys. It went from $460 to $800 to $1,200. Do you see that? And continuing to keep rising and rising. I can remember being on a call with a leader in our company. They announced her paycheck at that particular time, and I was a Ruby, and she was making $25,000 a month. And I can remember sitting on that call and texting my sponsor, like, whoa, did you hear that? Like, was that like legit? Was that 2,500 or was that 25,000? And she said, no, that was 25,000. I said, oh my gosh. I think at that moment in time, I had so many goosebumps, like those, hairs on my arms, like standing up. I got off the phone. I looked at Quintin. I said, babe, we are going to make a lot of money with this business. Trust me. It's the steps to success. That's all she's done. That's all she teaches. That's all I'm teaching. That's all I'm teaching my brand new people that are coming in. We're going to make that kind of money. He said, babe, there's no way that anybody makes that kind of money in a month. I work at a bank where the tellers make $25,000 a year. And I said, well, I don't even know what $25,000 looks like. If I had it in my hand, like, I can't imagine what that would actually feel like and smell like and look like. But I'm telling you what, we're going to make a lot of money with this. So hold tight. Like, we're going to make this happen. In 6 months to the date, y'all. 6 months to the date. I pulled in a $25,000 paycheck in one stinking month. So a $47 paycheck to a $25,000 paycheck in 8 months is pretty darn incredible. So if you wake up each and every morning, you put people in your business, whether they be customers or distributors, you wrap people, you make a concerted effort to get this wrap on each and every person that you come in contact with. This business is not hard. It's not hard. You just have to stay excited and keep moving, keep that action going. So how do you not have that momentum? Because January 1, you know this, Elisha. I mean, people, New Year's resolutions are going to go crazy. Our businesses that's our exciting time in this business, right? If you're not planting seeds now, good luck, because in January, the ones that have been planting seeds are going to get all your prospects.
Yeah, and just to give you a little bit of a historical look at this again, from a numbers standpoint, there's a lot of 3s and 9s in this business. We work on a lot of 30 days and 90 days, right? 3 months and 6 months. There's a lot of intentionality behind the way this business was created. And so, a loyal customer signs up and they make what? They make 3 consecutive orders. That's 90 days. So if you think about it this way, if you're planting seeds in loyal customers now, and I don't know about you guys, but loyal customers for us have always been a gold mine for potential distributors.
Yes.
So, a big chunk of loyal customers became distributors for us because that was our intentionality with it. And so if you're signing up loyal customers in December, guess what? They made their first order, and then they're going to make one in January, and then they're going to make another one in February.
They're ready to sign up at the end of conference.
And then what happens in conference, oh my gosh, this opportunity is so good, you can't not join me in this business opportunity. Yes. Wow, look at that. A magic little 3-month cycle that just happened there, 90 days. There's magic things that happen when you start looking at this from a very objective business strategic standpoint. Again, look, man, we're not in this for a hobby. I'm not talking to y'all. If you all are interested in making a couple $100 a month and that's your goal, you're not who I'm talking to, right? Who I'm talking to are the people who are like, you know what? I really want to drastically change my income. Look, and if you only want to make it $200, that's good.
Fine.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But that's not who I'm addressing. What I'm addressing are the people who say, you know what? I want to make a legitimate life change. And that's going to take a legitimate business strategy. And it's going to take legitimate effort to create that. It's a cyclical process. Loyal customers work on 90 days for a reason. Our business is built on 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors. That's the steps to success for a reason. And so you've got to understand when we're planting seeds now in the middle of winter, harvest is going to come right there at the beginning of spring in March, when people are like, oh, I'm at my 90, I've had my 3rd order, and I see you all excited, and New Year's resolutions, and spring's right around the corner, and I'm fat from the holidays, and I'm like, let's do something about this. I think I could make some money with this. You have to be objective, you have to be intelligent, and look at this strategically.
Yeah.
Planting seeds now will make you rock and roll when conference comes around February and March.
I so love it because it's so true. And let me say this again. If you're not planting the seeds, all the prospects that you have on your hundreds list are going to be harvested by somebody else. So if you've done part of the work, do all of the work. You've already invested the time. Why not go all in and invest your time? If you're going to spend 15 minutes of this business, go 110% in, right? If 15 minutes is all you have, as I get it, when I started this business, I had 4 kiddos, 5 years and under. So they were 5, 4, 3, I don't know what they were. But anyway, they were young, and it was crazy, and they were all home. And I didn't have a whole lot of time, and the time that I did have was very broken. But when I had the 15 minutes when they were sitting down for lunch, I used that time very, very intentionally. So if you are planting seeds, cultivate them so they harvest. Don't let your neighbor next to you or your sideline sister or somebody else on Facebook put out cultivate for you and pull in your prospects, because it's going to happen. It's happened to me. And I've had to learn that lesson the hard way. So, plant those seeds because they'll come to harvest. You just got to do it now, because in a couple months we're there and people want those New Year's resolutions, and you are going to be the person they're going to call.
And I just want to throw in a little plug right now. In 6 years, Elisha, I'd be interested to see what your perspective is on this. I believe that these are the best holiday packs we've ever had.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes. For sure.
Everything about them, from the quality of what they're doing with them to the finish and how they're put together, the packaging, everything about them. These are the best ones we've had.
I mean, if you haven't ordered the peppermint bliss yet, you need to, because it's
good stuff.
All of them.
It's good stuff. God, okay, so I could seriously you guys all day. Hold on, let me mute the other person. I'm gonna mute everybody again, and then ourselves.
You got it.
Okay.
All right.
So I want to ask one more question, and then we'll close it up because I don't want to take too much of your guys' time. So what would you say to somebody who has been in the business for, say, an extended period of time, whether it be 6 months, whether it be a year, whatever it might be, and they're really struggling, they're on the verge of quitting. Like, what do you say to somebody that's dealing with this?
You want to hear it? You want me?
I don't know that you want to hear what I would have to say.
Maybe Lori should take this one.
Well, I think we both have a great perspective on it, and I think we're pretty much going to say the very same thing in a different way. But here's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, again, this business isn't hard. And so you have to really be objective. You have to step outside of yourself and ask yourself, what are you doing every day? If you want to be paid like that ambassador that you are so mesmerized with on Facebook, or that you, I hate to use the word idolize because I just hate that word, but I can't think of anything else, that you look up to and you want their lifestyle because it just looks so great, right? We've all been there. Like, I have people that I look at and think, oh my gosh, they have such a great life. It's their highlight reel, right? You don't see them working every day. You don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that go into what they're doing each and every day. So I would say you have to step outside of yourself right now. I know you're emotionally charged right now, but you have to step outside of yourself and ask yourself this. What are you doing each and every day to get to the goals that you're wanting to achieve? Like, what, ask that question. What does that success look like for you? Because maybe it's not Ambassador Diamond. Maybe it's $500 a month. And you're comparing yourself to all these people that have worked their asses off to get to Ambassador. That's not a fair comparison. You cannot compare your chapter 2 to somebody's chapter 20, right? So you have to be realistic to ask yourself, what is your goal? What is your goal? What's your financial goal? What are your dreams? Where do you want to be? And let them answer you. And then come back and say, that $10,000 that you want each and every month, are you doing work each and every day to be able to get that paycheck? because that's a six-figure income. So if you are working outside of the house, think about what a six-figure income is and how much time somebody puts into that six-figure income career. Are you doing the work that it takes to create that six-figure income? Because if you're not, then this isn't a fair conversation. You're lying to yourself. This is not easy. It's what's Cody Chapman say?
This business is easy. You just got to do it easy every day.
Easy every day. So it is easy. It's not this physical labor job where you're working out in the ice cold weather or the heat of the summer, right? It's an easy in that regard. It's not a physically laboring job, but it takes work. You can't just sign up for a $99 kit, put it underneath your pillow, wake up successful the next day. You can't wake up rich the next day. It's a process that you have to be diligent and consistent with. And so if somebody comes to me, they've been in the business for a while, I always say, hey, when do you feel that you were the most success, that you saw the most success, you're most successful? And they're going to say, well, when I went diamond a year ago. Great. What were you doing then? What were you doing then? Because I can guarantee what you were doing then is probably not what you're doing now, because you had a goal in mind that you were driven to achieve and go grab. And so you were working your butt off. You're working your tail off to get that goal. Are you still working your bum off to be able to get that goal? Are you still driving yourself each and every day to wrap a new person, to get a new little customer, and to get a new distributor? Because if not, this is not a fair conversation for you. You're setting yourself up and you're telling yourself lies. Of course you're not feeling great about what you're doing because you're not doing it. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. You're spending all day long on Facebook, and you're spending all day long wishing you had somebody else's life because you don't know the work that it's taken for them to get there. You're spending all day long in the 50 groups that you're in because it's a complete distraction, right? Success, the enemy to success is distraction. So if you're a part of all these groups and it's keeping your work time tied up, you have 2 hours a day to work, but you're on Facebook for an hour and 45 minutes of that. When are you wrapping somebody? When are you having an opportunity meeting? When are you sitting down with somebody and having a coffee chat? No, you're too busy trying to get all the information that you need to be able to be successful. No. You don't have to know anything to be successful. All you got to do is put a wrap on. All you got to do is sign them up as a customer or distributor. That's it. Steps to success. That's all you need to know. Everything else comes, right? So ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. So do not get caught up thinking that you have to know everything there is to know about this business to be successful. You just don't. And so, again, I rambled a lot, but you just go back and you say this. What do you want to, what does that success look like for you? Give me a dollar amount. Now, are you doing what it requires for you to do to get that dollar amount? If you're working 2 hours a day and you want 6 figures, that ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you've got to get back and look at that just from a numerical standpoint of what kind of work you're putting in to get the output back.
There's a few things I say to those people, right? And again, we're talking about people who've been in the business. This isn't new. They're not rookies.
Yeah.
And so we're talking to people, and the first thing I would challenge them with is, I know who I am in this business. I know who my wife is in this business, and I know what that creates as a limitation for everybody. And so what I would encourage those people to do first and foremost is to find someone who loves them enough, who will speak truth and life into them. And what I mean by that is most people who are standing around saying, hey, I'm thinking about throwing in the towel, I'm just, this isn't working for me, that mindset is 90% of the problem, right? First of all. And when it starts, it's like this insidious disease. Once you start letting it permeate some of your mind, it permeates all of your mind. And unless you have someone across from you who loves you enough to say, hey, stop doing that. Stop. This happens to us a lot. Like, why the hell are you allowing yourself to entertain that thought? Like, stop. And so, I would say to them first, find some accountability with your mind. Find someone who loves you enough to speak truth and life into you. I don't know you that well. I'm not that close. I may not be that person, but find someone. The second thing I would say to that person is this. Most of us have had jobs out there in the real world, right? We've had the sucky job. And people who are talking about, hey, I'm not sure this is for me. I'm really struggling. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about maybe just quitting. Those are the people that stand around the water cooler at work and they just piss you off. Like, I don't even want to go to the water cooler because I'm tired of hearing Debbie Downer whining her ass off every time I go over to the water cooler.
And they don't really want to fix. They just want to complain, right?
That's right. So here's the thing. It's truth. Look, like you ask me an honest question, we give you an honest answer.
Yes.
Right? You start speaking this, it becomes your reality. And guess what? When you start speaking this out into the world, you start attracting people that are exactly in the same mindset. You start attracting that energy to you. When you start speaking that negativity at the water cooler, the people who are working are sitting at their desk working, you're over here negatively in it up. So you need to question, why am I speaking this out in the universe in the first place, right? The third thing I say is this, and this is my final ramble. We all need to take some pause and get some legitimate objectivity to our life and apply perspective. And let me give you some perspective. I had a good conversation with a good friend of mine, Ambassador Diamond, he said to me, hey, I'm thinking about going back to work. And it was financially motivated, all right? So before I dove into his ass about that, I started asking some questions. I started asking questions about why he thought that way, why he had allowed his brain to get that way. And what happened was, I had gotten back from a long road trip where I had this conversation. I went to get my truck cleaned up. And I drove through the car wash where these guys washed my truck and detailed my truck. They did a great job. Young guys, they worked there. It was cold that day. It was kind of cold and spitting rain. They were working hard. And those dudes were working hard, I guarantee, for 8 hours that day. For 8 hours, they worked hard, washing trucks when it was 35 degrees, spitting, sleet, and snow, washing my truck for, I bet you, less than $10 an hour. $8 an hour, right? So for those of us who think that we just want to go back out there in the real world and get a job, most skilled labor is somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 to $20 an hour on the high side. Most of you are going to walk back out there and pick up some $10 to $12 an hour job. So let's just use $10 an hour because I'm a numbers guy. These guys washing my truck on the high side worked their cans off all day long in a miserable condition doing something they probably didn't like to do, and they made $80 that day, and they got half of that from Uncle Sam. So they really made 40. But let's just talk about $80. They worked their can off for $80 that day in a miserable job, doing something they didn't want to do with people they probably didn't want to be around, serving people they probably didn't want to serve, right? Doing something they didn't want to do. There's your perspective. That's less than one fast start bonus. Those guys worked their can off for less than one fast start bonus. And if you've been around this business and you're diamond or above, I'm not even talking about cabs yet, right? So if you allow that insidious mindset to creep in that, hey, maybe I'm going to do something different. How about you slap yourself in the face with some perspective and realize what it was like to go work that job that made you go, you know what? Maybe I want to try this It Works thing in the first place because you forgot it. Take a week off and go work in a shelter. Take a week off and go wash cars. Take a week off and go mow grass. Then come back and tell me that, oh, I'm thinking about going back to work because I'm not sure this worked. Bullshit. You need to get perspective and you need to get back to work because you know you could do this. You already did it. You've been here. Do it again. And it goes back to what Lori said. You go back to doing the things you did that made you successful in the first place. Like, if you're diamond or above and you've just hit a roadblock, you didn't hit a roadblock. You became lethargic. You settled. You arrived. You need to get someone to speak that truth in life into you. That's what needs to happen. And you need perspective because you don't want to go back out there and get a JLB. I promise you that. What you want to be able to do is sit here in your nice warm house, work that phone, put wraps on people, work that social media, right? Be with your kids, be with your husband. You can put something on the stove and still be working your business, not standing around a water cooler with people you hate. You can be in a house with people you love. That's perspective. Get your perspective back. That's what I'd say.
I love that. I don't even know what else to say about that. It's good.
I love it. Gosh, you guys are awesome. All right. Any final words? Any final thoughts you guys wanted to share?
Don't get discouraged. Don't walk in defeat. You know why? I know Mark said this just recently. I don't know if he said it on a call or what, but I don't want to steal his words from him, so I got to give him credit for it. But your feet are pointed in front of you for a reason, right? Things are going to happen in your life that you're going to feel defeated by or discouraged by, but you just got to let it pass by, right? You got to just keep swimming, right? But you got to stay forward. You got to stay in forward motion. You have to know what you're going for that's in front of you, and you have to stay determined to go grab that. Stop looking at the past. Stop looking on your side at everybody else that doesn't deserve your attention. You deserve your own attention to go out and make your life happen, to make your dreams happen. And if you don't do it, y'all, nobody's going to do it for you. So you got to go out there and make that happen yourself. If it is to be, it's definitely up to me.
My final words are this: influence. I've been preaching and talking a lot about, for people who will listen, influence, the power of influence, who you give your influence to, who you receive influence from. And I want to say this: every one of you on this Zoom should be following people who, A, are already successful, people who are, B, full of integrity, and people who are, C, who are doing the right things.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of people out there who aren't. That's just how life works, right? And so, you know, I know the Geggs, they're great people. You need to make sure every one of you are dialed in and following them on social media.
Yeah.
You need to be careful about the other people that you're dialing into. You need to be careful about who you give your influence to. You need to be careful about who you receive influence from. Make sure people are speaking life into you. Make sure people are speaking truth into you. And make sure you surround yourself with integrity. And so I say, follow, invest, and allow people to influence you who are successful, who are full of integrity, right? Those are the people you follow on social media. Don't get caught up in the hype and the BS, the flash in the pan, the people who are out there telling you how great they are. If they got to tell you how great they are, they ain't great, right? So follow the people who are great, who have good hearts, who are doing the right things, who mean well, right? And who are already successful. Those are the people you invest your influence in.
You guys, thank you so, so much. I appreciate it. I know every single one on here appreciates your words, your wisdom, your heart, and your fire. Like, I know for me, it set me on fire, so I hope it did for everybody else. So thanks for taking the time. I can't wait to see you guys. I guess it'll be conference when I see you again.
Right.
But again, thank you guys so much.
You got it. We love you. Thank you so much.
We love you. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right. See ya.
Bye.